Hello, I'd like to explain how I change yarns when my skein is too small to no longer get a full way around my loom. And this is how I do. I don't do the magic knot anymore because I have a 7-year-old grandson who can get a magic knot out in like 4.3 seconds. I actually timed him. But anyway, this is a garter stitch blanket. I'm coming back on this row and I don't have enough to finish another row. A good measure for that is if your yarn can go around your entire loom 2.5 times, you can ordinarily make the next row without having to put a new skein on, and that way you can get your ball as small as possible. So in this case, I'm purling back to my peg 1. But I'm going to stop right here. And I'm going to place my knot between these two. And the reason I'm doing that is then my knot is going to be hidden and won't show on that chain stitch. Here is one that I previously did. And once you get your ends weaved in, it's going to look just the same the whole way. And that knot is actually inside here. You can feel it with your fingers, but you can't see it. And then, of course, you will go ahead and weave in your ends on the opposite side of the stitching. Okay, so here I am going to cut my yarn about, 6-8 inches long. And I'm going to take my new yarn, and this is one of the reasons I love Cindy Wood, because I love these pins. But if you don't, you can just slip knot on any peg until you get it tied and then take it off. But I usually just slide that in under the pin. Okay, and then I'm going to take the two ends and I'm going to tie my knot as close to the back of peg 2, or my next to last peg. Even if I'm on this side, I'll do it in between these two pegs. And I just tie a regular old knot at least twice and sometimes 3, just to make sure that it doesn't come out. Then you can release this or your slip knot, whichever you used. And now this here piece right here is my new working yarn. So now I will do the U-knit or U-wrap around that last peg and knit it off. Push it down. And that's nice and tight in the back. Not sure I can show you. It's nice and tight. It's a little hard to see on my camera, especially with this, but the knot is back here. Okay, and then I will proceed to just start my next row, which in this case is 5 knit stitches. And once you get these locked in, that knot's not going anywhere at all. And it's definitely not coming out. I haven't had one come out. Been doing it this way for years. They're hidden, even with especially number 6 yarn, because number 6 yarn, a magic knot on number 6 yarn is huge. And it is really hard to hide. It will show. But if you put it here, it will not show. You may feel it a little bit, but it's not going to show. It's really, really nice, and I recommend it highly that it be done that way. Like here is actually 2 knots because my yarn, see, there's 2 close together because my yarn had a knot in it, and it was all frayed, and I had to cut a section out, so I ended up stopping and starting actually before I needed to. But once again, once you get these yarns weaved in, there's your edge. Your knot is right here. It's right here, and you cannot see it. You can see it here, but once you get it weaved in, it's going to blend in, and the only way you're going to know it's there is if you really feel around for it. So I hope that helped. It's really nice. It works great. I usually trim these tails couple inches. That's plenty to weave it in. And anyway, that's how I do it. Works really, really great, especially for garter stitch edges. Thank you. Bye.